This commentary is gonna physically hurt me. I could just tell. Well, I guess I have to be honest. This is gonna be another commentary on Doug 8798. Well, you might be wondering why I'm doing it again, and I'll tell you why. Doug is a man-child. An arrogant prick who thinks that if he hates something, it's a valid argument, really. He's also the kind of guy who thinks that challenges on the internet are serious business. So whenever people call him out for having a bitch fit or complaining about something, he issues challenges to them. Plus, he thinks that whenever something stops him from either seeing something or enjoying something, that automatically makes it bad. But that's not the reason why I chose to commentate on him. The reason why is because this guy is a moron. In every sense of the word, this guy is a hypocrite. He doesn't understand how things work. He's a complete and utter douchebag when it comes to certain things. But today we'll be taking a look at his magnum opus. It is rants on Funimation and Kai, and I can't wait to lay into him for hating this shit. So, let's get started.
XAM, this Funimation and Dragon Ball Kai rant is retaliation for not only bashing Naruto, Bleach, and Twilight, but for also...
Just when I thought you couldn't be any more pathetic, you pull out the fact you like Twilight. I can just smell all the rape jokes from here.
But for also making that lame, short Dragon Ball Kai hater video instead of doing what you said you were gonna do, and that's make video commentaries on everyone who bashed Dragon Ball Kai. Instead, you make some shitty 2-minute video with some kid making fun of Dragon Ball Kai haters. You will pay for your laziness and cowardice. Before I start...
Doug, I'm gonna have to agree with XAM on this one. He doesn't have to do what you say. His rules are his own rules. Because let's face it, he's a troll. And a damn good one at that.
Before I start my rant on Funimation, I do respect them for what they've done for anime, but they are so much fail, and they rarely receive criticism for their failure. I'm going to change that right now.
Doug, we're not even 2 minutes into the video, and guess what? You pulled out a research fail. If you had just put in there, the YouTube search bar, you would have figured out that people honestly do dislike the Funimation dubs for some things. Hell, they often do get criticism. Well, most of the criticism is geared toward the earlier version of Dragon Ball Z and some random animes I've never heard of. But still, that's still a fail on your part, dude.
When I was a kid, I loved the in-house Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Z. But now that I'm older, I hate it. In the beginning, all of the voice acting, including Goku's and Krillin's, is terrible. The worst voice actor is Christopher Sabat. His Vegeta and Piccolo is terrible and bland compared to the Japanese and Ocean dub counterpart.
Well, of course the Japanese version is going to be great. It's the original Japanese version. As for Ocean dub, I really don't care for it. I liked it when I was a kid, but as an adult, I think it's not so great when it comes to anything after the first 2 seasons. Yeah, I think perhaps maybe, Doug, you shouldn't bring up Ocean dub in this argument, since, I don't know, not a whole lot of people like it. I do know there's people that do like it, but the majority seem to dislike Ocean for what it did to the show.
Faulkner's music, most of his music, apart from the Ginyu theme, the Cell theme, and the Super Saiyans theme, is awful, and is not needed and doesn't capture the tone and the emotion of the show. What was wrong with the original Ocean dub?
Doug, the Ocean dub's version of music was awful. They reused a lot of the same music they had for old shows like the Mega Man cartoon, as well as replacing some of the audio, well, I should more say like sound effects from those shows too. I don't know why, Doug, but the fact that you're leaning on the Ocean dub's side is kind of weird, especially given the fact that, oh god, you're not a nostalgia tart, are you? Great, another red flag.
Or Japanese music and sound effects. Then they dumb down the dialogue for kids. They dumb down the
Speaking of dialogue, I see that you still don't know how to use editing software, well, this is a video prior to the one I did before, it still doesn't make any fucking sense. If you can stutter, then you can edit. And on the track that you were going to, no, Doug, Funimation's dialogue was far superior to that than Ocean's, ranging from "I can see their parachutes" to "I'll send you to the next dimension," and the "over 9,000" clip. I'd hate to say it, but they're terrible at writing. If anything, they're the worst in terms of writing thus far of a Dragon Ball Z. Well, no, there is the big green dub. Oh yes, people, there is the big green dub.
Then they dumb down the dialogue for the kids, and then putting in garbage dialogue.
You just wait till it grows back. It's over 9,000!
Do you realize what you've done, you fool? I have no more use here. My babies, they're gone. I can't make...
You see, this is the reason why people can't take Ocean Dub seriously. They actually have a misread line, the over 9,000 clip. The fact they dumbed down the series as seen as the first clip, and the third clip themselves is the fact that they themselves have a horrible time at writing. This is why people do not take it seriously anymore, Doug. The Ocean Dub wave was for kids, not for adults.
Like Mondo Cool or Burnt Toast. The Funimation dub was too busy trying to be hip, trying to be cool, that they come off as incredibly stupid and cheesy. There's so much more, but I want to get into Dragon Ball Kai. I started watching the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Kai in 2009, shortly after it premiered.
Doug, we all know you're lying, buddy. There's no way around it. The fact that you say and claim that you do things, and yet you don't, proves to us you're a liar. A big ass-hurt liar.
And I loved it. Then, 1 year later, I watched those crappy English dubs of Dragon Ball Kai. Those English dubs of Dragon Ball Kai made me realize that Dragon Ball Kai as a whole, even the Japanese version, which is the best version of the three, still sucks.
And another reason why people don't like you. You need to stop assuming that your word is true. You believe it's right, but in all reality, it's wrong. You're arrogant. That's not good. You're like Confused Matthew. You assume that everyone will agree with you no matter what, no matter how many good or bad ones you make. Although I'll give Confused Matthew this, at least he makes good videos sometimes, and, well, you don't.
The dialogue is so much better. The dialogue is better in Dragon Ball Kai than it is in the original Funimation in-house dub of DBZ. But the voice acting, apart from a few, are atrocious. The worst being Gohan, Bulma, Android 18, Frieza, and Zarbon.
Doug, here's an example of how to explain, okay? I think Colleen Clinkenbeard does a great job as Gohan. Even though I still like Stephanie Nadolny, I think Stephanie Nadolny's a stuck-up bitch who needs to get her act together. Now, as for Frieza, Chris Ayers does a great job. I have to admit, out of all the voice actors, he surprised me the most. As for Zarbon, I really don't know too much about that voice actor, but I'll admit he does a decent job. See, Doug, it's not that hard to explain. All you gotta do is just add a little bit more sentences.
Is even worse than Faulkner. Why couldn't they just keep the original Japanese? And the censorship is terrible. American cartoons.
And another reason why people don't like you. You fail to understand the FCC and, the fact that you watch it on TV, moron. CW, or 4Kids dub, is going to be terrible. We all know this. They made Popo Blue, for God's sake. Nicktoons wasn't so bad, although there was a little bit, of censorship. But still, you can go out and buy the DVDs. It's not that difficult.
Have more violence and balls than these crappy Dragon Ball Kai dubs, English dubs do. They censor unnecessary things like ki blasts and punches. When Goku punches Dr. Gero in the jaw, you don't even see it. They cut the 10 when that happens. that wasn't even a gory scene in the original, and there are many more scenes just like that. Then the biggest reason I hate Dragon Ball Kai is the animation. How lazy can these assholes be? All they did is take the same animation, get rid of the filler, add new animation and graphics instead of creating a brand new show from scratch like other cartoons and
Doug, animation and graphics are two totally different things. That's something that not only you, but other people need to understand.
Animes such as Thundercats, Voltron, Astro Boy, and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood do. And the animation is terrible. The uncut box sets and the original television quality is way better than this updated HD bullcrap that I see on my television. And finally,
damn it, why didn't I write a script? I mean, it's not like I could have easily flowed through one sentence to another without having to start up my lines all the time. Gosh darn it, scripting. You scroll me over once again.
Finally, this show doesn't even 100% follow the manga, which I recently just started reading. I started with the King Piccolo saga and read all the way up into the Boost saga. So that makes this show pointless. Dragon Ball Kai is one of the worst remakes of a cartoon I've ever seen.
Doug, we all know you read a fan-translated version on the internet. Here's my advice to you. STFU, GTFO, go to a bookstore, get the omnibuses or single issues, and read the manga. That is far better than watching somebody say that stupid stuff that you have on your most recent video. God damn, I was laughing at that.
The animation is garbage. The voice acting in the English versions is garbage. The music sucks. Dragon Ball GT, as flawed as they are, is a better show than Dragon Ball Kai. Alright, I'm done, XAM. Defend your show and company, or admit defeat to me. Doug8798, out.
Alright guys, this is the end of the video, and guess what? I'm going to give you some quick final words and then tell you something about Doug's quote-unquote logic. Okay, first and foremost, Doug, while you did learn how to edit a bit better in the future, that doesn't mean anything. You still suck at not really editing out your stutters. You constantly seem to believe that your opinions are fact when they're not. You also seem to think that watching one bad edit will pretty much destroy an entire series. It actually isn't that bad. In fact, it's pretty damn good, despite the fact I haven't seen anything after the Frieza saga. I know I'm gonna get hate for that, but you know what? Who cares? I love that series too. But the thing that really bothered me about this rant wasn't about your hate or how much it was off the manga. It was because of the fact that you come off like any other Ocean dub fan. And this is something that I think is inexcusable. Why? Because Ocean dub fans are either nostalgia tards or trolls, especially on YouTube, since I've read a shit ton of comments where they usually have the same defenses. And you know what? You used all of them, but you're not a troll. But Doug, you are a blind fanboy of everything. And here are the three people that you have pissed off. Hellsing fans, Next Gen Gamers, and Dragon Ball Z Kai people. You want to know why you pissed all of them off? Well, here's the reason. 1. Hellsing fans, you nitpicked the shit out of their show. But you didn't watch the show, you read the Wikipedia page. People have called you out on that, and you know what you said? You did, Doug. We can all tell you did it. We can tell because you complain about things that no other person has complained about Hellsing. And I'm not even that fluent in Hellsing, and I can tell you right now, Alucard is Dracula spelled backwards. And you don't even know that. As for Next Gen Gamers, you know what? I would level with you. I think that the old systems are good, but I like the Next Gen. You wanna know why? Because the companies are treating the gamers like people. They understand we like the older games, and they bring it out on the stores. I have played Resident Evil 4. I love that game. I plan on getting Shadow of Colossus, because it's one of my favorite games of all time. But the fact that you fail to understand that games have strategy nowadays proves to me that you've never even played a next-gen game. I'm sure that you've just saw a few minutes, or no, a few seconds of a game, and you're like, I don't want to play this game. I don't think the game's good anymore. Now it's time for the Dragon Ball Z Kai people, and my god, Doug, this is so bad that I'm going to have to say this right now. You know nothing of Dragon Ball Z, or GT. And here is a true story, actually. You know how I pointed out that your manga that you had in your video that I commentated on last time? I didn't even watch XAM's version until yesterday. Right after my thing was uploaded. And you know what? I was surprised that somebody else even knew this. I was surprised XAM got it. And you know what? I'm impressed. I really am. I'm impressed that you are devoted to that version. It's so stupid to read an internet fan translated version and think it's the one that is real. As for your hatred towards Kai, they're complete bullshit. I don't understand how you can watch the Nicktoons not like that. I can't understand how you honestly could hate the entire thing, even the Japanese version, from watching the 4K stuff. This is why people hate you, Doug. You jump to conclusions way too fucking fast. And that's the main reason. I don't have to say anything else about your Dragon Ball Z stuff. You wanna know why? Because that's the reason why. You jump to conclusions way too fast. No, wait. There is one more thing. You wanna know why? I even wrote it on my script. I have my script right here. You know what? On the script, it says the last thing, Dragon Ball Evolution. Why? Why do you like that movie? It destroyed everything about Dragon Ball. I hate that movie. I gave Fox credit when I first heard they were going to do it, but I can't stand them anymore. They have made some of the best franchises and destroyed it because of their money-grubbing hands. So, for those who stuck around after that tirade, this is my last video on Doug, but I'm not done. I'm not done with idiots on the internet. Next time is Storms Inc. For those of you who don't know who he is, I'll let you know in the next video. For those of you who are wondering if I'm going to get back to Doug, we'll see what he does after these videos. Perhaps I'll go back, or perhaps I'll make a rant on him. In fact, I want you guys to write in the comment section, should I make an entire rant refuting his points? Or should I wait? Well, that's it, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this very long commentary. Besides the fact that he probably will respond to this, I'm not going to respond to him until he gives me legitimate reasons for hating Kai. And again, I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I know it was long and painful, but believe me, the next one is going to be far more goofy. Well, somewhat, because the next guy was an asshole. Bigger than... No, wait. Yeah, he's about the same as Doug. So, I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy.